Good evening, y'all. It is Wednesday. It is Talk Soup night. Talk Soup, no, Watch Soup night. Sorry, the show was Talk Soup.
Yes, that's right.
I'm Bobby Legs. I am one of your co-hosts, and I'm joined with my other co-host, Clayton from the Watchdog Podcast. Clayton, how are you, my friend?
Yeah, doing well. We don't have to go into the whole thing, but I was telling you beforehand, it's
Oh
been
yeah.
kind of a hairy few days around here. There was the school shooting at Brown University. I live a few miles away from there, but my clients all live around there, so they have not caught the person yet. And I've been, picking up dogs around there and talking to my clients who kind of had to shelter in place during that whole thing. So yeah, been a really weird. It's eerie because all the Brown students are gone now.
Yeah.
And like all the elementary and high schools around are sort of, I think they went back today, but yesterday and Monday, I mean, it was quiet except for cops everywhere, news crews and helicopters, and it's
Yeah.
very surreal. And it's weird to be thinking like I'm out and about, and this guy's still out here in the wind. So it's yeah, it's very surreal.
Yeah, man.
And I just so sorry for the victims and everyone and their families and their loved ones. It's just horrible.
Yeah, it puts a lot of things in perspective, right? I mean, like, we're here talking about watches, but like, there's some like, real life stuff going on and some dangerous stuff and dangerous times that we're kind of in. And, hopefully they catch this guy and hopefully there's no other, injuries or casualties,
Right.
um,
Right.
until they catch this guy, you know what I mean? So like, hey, be safe, Clayton, and
Yeah, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
roll.
I'm not too worried. I'm just like
Yeah,
thinking of those poor kids,
yeah,
like
absolutely.
it's just horrible. But
Yeah,
anyway,
man.
yeah. How are you?
Good, man. Hey, but before we talk about me, what watch you wearing?
Oh, I'm wearing the Nomos Neomatic World Timer
Very nice.
Dune. Put it on a blue sort of suede strap. Kind of like it. There's some hints of blue on the watch. So yeah, I like
Yeah.
it. Different
No,
look.
it looks great, man. I mean, that's a great looking watch. I got the good old Citizen. I just
Oh
can't stop wearing
yes.
this. I just can't stop wearing this watch. I just can't. I mean, I don't wear it to work because it's like imposing, but like I just can't stop wearing it. And hey,
You can
getting
throw it at a coworker when they get out of line.
right,
Yeah.
right. No, everything's good, man. Just gearing up. We have a holiday party coming up on Saturday at the Legs house, and then like next week obviously is Christmas for those who celebrate, and the kids are excited about that. And yeah, so it's kind of stressful, but kind of happy times, at the end of the year. And I can't wait. Tomorrow's my last day of work for the rest of the year, so I'm just can't
Oh,
wait to get that in and get
excellent.
out. You know what I
Amazing.
mean? And just get
Yes.
home tomorrow, and then have the last couple of weeks off of the year. Looking forward to it. Hey, let's say hello to some people in chat, and then we'll jump right into the soup. And then I gotta tidy up, do some tidy up after the soup tonight. So for the party. Hey, Marceau's here wearing his Chopard GTS Salmon. Marceau has posted some of the a picture of that on the Bobby Legs Discord channel. I think he did a little trade, and the watch is beautiful,
Yeah. I
beautiful
saw it
watch.
on Facebook, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful. Yep. Yep.
Ken's here. Checking in from Pittsburgh. Mr. Wilson's here wearing his Mad One tonight.
Nice.
Good evening to you, Mr. Robert Wood Audio. Um, liking the Nomos
Thank
Wilson,
you. Thank you,
and
Wilson.
Mr. Duffy there, ready for some soup. All right, hey, let's get right into it. You're gonna go first today.
Yes. Okay.
You got a channel that I'm not too familiar with, but seems like a good guy here, Tyree.
Yeah, I wasn't really familiar with this channel either. This video was shared by our mutual friend Dirk, and I thought,
Hmm,
this might be an interesting topic. I think he's probably going to do a video on it as well.
yeah.
So yeah, I thought this was sort of interesting, and this did resonate with me a bit. I have had some of these feelings before, so let's get into it. Yeah, Mr. Tyree here. He says watch reviews are ruining our hobby, and you know it. Have you ever bought a watch and then started liking it less after watching a few reviews? You thought you had something special, but a few thumbnails later, you're wondering if you bought the wrong one. We've all been there, he says. Sometimes the thing that's meant to feed the hobby is quietly starting to eat away at it. And then he has like little subtitles. The first one is the culture of comparison. We live in a world where collecting is just content these days. Every release gets 50 videos of people saying the exact same thing, even before the watch ships, before it's
Mhm.
available to purchase online, right? Um, it's the ecosystem we live in. Tyree here thinks sometimes something happens when we consume too much of it. The joy starts to fade because you get analysis paralysis, chasing hype instead of meaning, and being influenced by the influencers. Yeah, sometimes I get this. Sometimes like I look for reasons not to buy a watch, and before you know it, there's so many watches out there, right? I
Yeah.
like so many things. I fall in love with everything. So
Yeah.
sometimes that happens. The next subtitle here is the honest question. He knows what you're thinking. He's a watch reviewer. So how can he be making a video asking if reviews are ruining the hobby? He's not against them, but and he's learned a ton from watching other people's reviews. But somewhere along the line, there's a balance to achieve. He thinks we stop watching them to learn and start watching them instead to validate. Right. And I think I've done that before. Like, oh, if Adrian Barker thinks it's a cool watch, especially early on, like in the early days, like, oh, it must be a pretty good watch if these big shots like Time Teller or somebody doesn't like my watch, Archie Luxury, if he thinks, and I think Britt, maybe in the video you're going to talk about, kind of talked about that
Mhm.
too, where she bought a Nomos and he said it
Yep.
was a shitter.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Did I buy a bad watch?" Like, oh, so yeah, I think that happens for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe especially like with her too, early on in the hobby, right? Um, and then they start telling us what to feel. That's when the hobby starts to lose its heartbeat, right? Then the next segment, the burnout loop. We've all felt the brain buzz of a hype drop. The dopamine hit is exciting and addictive. Every new release gives us a hit of novelty, and every negative review gives us something to defend. Yep, I've done that where I a watch I just bought, and I'm in the comment section like, "No, you're wrong." If somebody gives it a bad review or says some stuff about it. Um, and I've had that happen with me too, posting on Instagram and stuff and on the podcast. It doesn't have to live in a constant loop, though. It can also just live in a quiet movement moment when the wash just is, right? Sometimes we can just leave that alone. We don't have to comment on every
Mhm.
single thing.
Mm.
And then he tells his Ranger story. The Tudor, he bought a Tudor Ranger and he loved it. It was exactly what he wanted and it fit him really well. Then he watched too many negative reviews about a watch he loved, and those voices started to creep in. A Reddit comment even messed with him, his opinions on the minute hand, I believe. He started to see the watch through their eyes. He almost forgot why he loved it in the first place. And he thinks that's the issue. He bought it because it reminded him of his time in the service and he loved everything about it. Then he started to remember why he loved it. He does still let those voices, those negative voices, creep in once in a while, but he's able to kind of get them to leave as well,
Mhm.
right? I wish I could stop the voices in my head.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, that's what he thinks can be bad about reviews. It messes up our ability to collect. As we collect watches, we also collect these opinions in the back of our minds, right? I think even with our peers, with our friends in watch groups, like sometimes, if we get ragged on for, wearing a watch or buying a watch, like, are they right? Like,
Mm.
did I buy? Am I silly for liking this watch? And
Mm.
maybe that creeps in and affects our love of the watch. I have questions for you after this, so we'll get
Yeah.
back to that. The invitation back to joy is the next subheading. Maybe reviews aren't ruining the hobby. Maybe we are letting them ruin us and our mindsets. To fix that, enjoy first, watch second. Put your phone down and enjoy the watch before comparing why you like it to others' opinions. The hobby just isn't about algorithms, it's about alignment between who we are and what we wear. We are what we wear, so to speak, right? So he
Mhm.
said, watch the review channels that sort of identify with, people you trust, someone who's not going to be negative just for negative sake. And he says we
Yeah.
all know people who are like that, right? We can name a few. We
Mhm.
won't here, but we could, and maybe we will. Who knows? Somebody you trust, right? And then he stories over specs. His channel isn't about reviews. He doesn't actually do that many. About 10 out of 100 videos. It's all about the stories. Then he plugs his website and everything. But
Mm.
yeah, I just thought it was like an interesting take, and some of it
Yeah.
definitely hit home with me for sure.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think like earlier on in my collecting, I really hung on to those watch reviews, right? And there were certain reviewers that I really valued their opinion. Now, I can't say that I don't believe I've ever bought a watch and then saw a review that wasn't so complimentary and then thought to myself, oh, I probably shouldn't have bought that watch. You know what I mean? Like it didn't sour me on that. I don't remember ever feeling that way. But I mean, I think that's not to say, I mean, I believe a lot of people, that happens to a lot of people though,
Oh yeah.
and he made a couple of other interesting points. As a content creator, I can relate. I don't do many watch reviews at all anymore. Well, main reason is because I don't have a volume of watches coming in. Like, I don't. When I was beginning my channel, like I'd borrow a lot of watches. I'd seek people out that could help me with that, and give them a little plug or whatever. There's a couple people probably on this chat that has sent me watches. I know Mr. Duffy has, which is very much appreciated. But I kind of like, I almost like like if you don't have like the newest watch now, like you don't, it's not worth the effort if your goal is to get views, which is not necessarily my goal ever. Really, I mean, I guess a little bit of it, because there's a little bit of a competitive side to
Well,
me,
you
but
want
it's
a
just
little
like,
bit of a payoff for putting the
yeah, I
time in,
guess
right?
so. I
Yeah.
guess so. I mean, I just, enjoyed the watches, getting them in. But like, if you don't have the latest and greatest, like, you're not going to get the views. And then like, maybe for like a motivation standpoint, that kind of like, if you don't get the views, then like, I don't want to do them again. I much rather do like something like this, or what we're doing with the watch soup, because like, I don't think there's many people or anybody doing this in the watch space. I
Right.
think that's why it's kind of unique. And like getting together with friends and doing live streams and getting together with the chat, because I'm pretty much friendly with everybody who's in on the chat, and that's always been fun. The community aspect has really taken over the fact of like just like the watch collecting itself. Like, I don't have many watches right now. I'm not in the phase where I'm collecting watches or doing that, but I enjoy talking about watches and hanging out with you guys and doing this. So yeah, I mean, like, very very interesting takes this guy has, and yeah, I thought I got a lot out of this video. How about you?
Yeah, well, I have a couple thoughts here. First
Yeah,
of
sure.
all, the very first watch I bought when I decided I wanted to not wear my Garmin every day. I'm from Michigan. I remembered when I was thinking about watches, I remembered that my cousin and his wife, and I've told the story before, loved Shinola, and they had
Mhm.
several of them because it's a Detroit thing.
Yeah.
They live right there. So that was the watch I bought. And I was very proud of it. It was I still wear
Mhm.
it, the Lake Superior Monster Diver. Really great watch. I didn't ask for a discount. I didn't know that was a thing. They did waive the sales tax, so I was like, oh, I got a good deal. And then I started to when I realized there was such a thing as watch YouTube, I went on and typed Shinola, and every video was like, they're a scam, they're overpriced, they're garbage. And I was like, oh boy, I spent $1,500 on this thing. Did I make a horrible mistake? And
Yeah.
for a while, I was a little embarrassed of it.
Yeah.
But no, you know what? It's a great watch. I contend it's better than other divers I've had that maybe cost even 1,000 more.
Mm.
Bold hot take, maybe. Um, but it's a great watch, and sure, they are overpriced. I think there's a lot to bag on that's justified, but that doesn't affect my love of the watch. And
Yeah.
I've sold hundreds of watches probably at this point, and that one, the first one I bought, is still with me, and it probably always will be. Partially because I couldn't get anything for it, probably, but yeah, no. So I did like think though, like kind of like Britt with the Nomos, like, oh man, did I screw up? Did I buy a bomb here? Did I buy a lemon of a watch? But yeah. The other thing I want to talk about, I was going to talk about this on my podcast too. My most downloaded episode by far is my review of the Aura Ring. I
Mm.
specified that it's an unsponsored review. It's something I paid for with my own money, and then I could be honest about it. It's funny, like for a watch podcast, that's like my by far most downloaded episode. I mean, I think people are craving reviews where there's no money being exchanged.
Mm.
Even if I got it from Aura, and had to give it back, a lot of people that do that. Oh, and don't forget to hit that 10% discount code in my. So
Mm.
there's still an incentive to they're still making money off of it, even if
Yeah.
they have to give the product back. So I think people really want somebody's opinion who actually forked over their own money, and there's no strings attached, the freedom to say what they want. So While I think a lot of reviews are entertainment for me at this point, I did used to take them as gospel when I
Mm,
first started in the hobby. And yeah, I just think it's I hope people are aware. Like a lot of times, you know what, they're making some money either off
yeah,
of sales. We've seen those stories before, right? Where it came out, certain people were getting some money on the back end.
yeah,
So it behooved them to say positive things because they got a percentage of each watch sold. So I think that ties into it as well. Um, and yeah, just you know what, enjoy the watch. But yeah, especially early on, that stuff can creep in.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Marcel saying, I think this does happen when you are new to collecting. After you have developed your own taste in watches, it isn't as bad. I'm saying this as a collector who's had a box full of toxic shitters. The Almond Cell Strap Awards. Yeah, hey, listen, I'm trying to get that together, Wilson, even if it's not as a long list of categories, maybe like a petite ass award. You know, I'm trying
Not
to
a Brazilian butt lift ass award.
no. Hey, Nathan saying, hi, I'm wearing my Ferrer Aqua compressor, Hecla stainless steel. I regularly rewatch watch reviews of a watch that I've already bought, but I tend to focus on positive ones. Yes, same
I
here.
do that. Yep.
I like the justification. Here's another thought that um in regards to the watch reviews, and this is going to bleed into a little bit of what, like, we're going to talk about with Brett. Um, it's funny. So like if I'm buying something from Amazon or Lowe's on their website, I will seek out the 1-star reviews, right?
Yes.
Um, and they're not deal breakers. I just want to see like what like negative negatives a product people have experienced with a certain product. With the watches, like I can tune out bad reviews on a watch that I like or own, and I can focus on the positive reviews. So I make like this there's a distinction in my head in regards. Maybe it's a YouTube thing in general. Like I don't like I don't I'm not I don't fall into the clickbaitiness of negative titles per se
Yeah.
on YouTube. I'm always looking like, something that's either going to give me the straight up facts, like how like Tim Masso does, like when they're selling watches, he'll just do those small, like, those short reviews that that go in your inbox at 6 o'clock in the morning, like they blanket like, 10 of them,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Um, yeah, and I don't really like focus on the negative stuff. Um, don't know why I make that distinction. Um, on
We're also
YouTube
pretty
as opposed
seasoned
to
now too.
online.
We're seasoned a little bit
That
now
yeah,
too. Yeah.
and that's just way different. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's another layer to all this. But I tend to like focus on the the positive stuff. Um, we all seek validation in the beginning. Yep. I agree to that. Aaron
Definitely.
saying, "Hey, Bobby Legs, I'm from Fairhaven, Massachusetts." Okay, okay. I'm in the Northeast too. Not
Yeah, not
that
too far away.
Not too
Yeah.
far away from Clayton. Oh, thanks, Thomas. Always appreciate those streams, Bobby and Clayton. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Thomas.
Merry, happy Christmas to you as well. Really appreciate it. Um, can you please sing a happy birthday song in Australian accent for me?
Got a fan
I
here, Bobby.
please. Can I do
Come
an
on.
Australian accent? It's not going to come out as Australian though. What an interesting request. Like, what is that all about?
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna do it. I'm gonna
Do it.
do it.
Do it.
I'm just trying to like, figure out like, like why, why the Australian accent? He's from Massachusetts.
Give the people what they want. Give the people what
I
they
mean,
want.
I could try to do a Boston accent with it. All right, I need to wait. Australian. Okay, like, put another shrimp in the barbie, mate.
Yep.
Okay, hold on, mate.
Crocodile Dundee.
Okay,
Get in the mode
happy
here.
birthday
Amazing. Uh,
to you, mate. Happy birthday to you,
Oh
Mike.
man.
Happy birthday, shrimp on the Barbie. Happy birthday to you. Okay.
Very good.
Wow. We're not gonna make a clip out of that one.
Oh.
Okay, jumping on to the next. Okay.
That was
Britt
amazing.
Pearce
That was
says she does
amazing.
these Q&A videos every once in a while. And I'm not gonna do like if you're gonna ask me to do more happy birthday other people in other accents, I'm not gonna do it. That was the one shot. Okay, so don't get any bright ideas. Anybody else, Wilson? Okay, so Britt Pierce, she does these Q&As like a lot of like the guys do. No, good attempt. No, come on, man. Come on, man. Cut me some slack. All
You
right,
didn't
all
even
right.
get a chance to warm up or
I
anything.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't have a chance to
That's
warm
pretty
up, man.
impressive.
I needed to get in character. Okay, so she does this Q&A stuff. She did a bunch. I'm gonna do a couple, and we'll get our takes, Clayton, get our takes on her thoughts on each of these questions. The first one that I want to address: if you could only buy, this is an interesting. Okay, if you could only buy one watch ever, which watch would it be? Now, um, Britt says she's gonna go on the high end, right? Because like if it's gonna be her last watch or only watch, why not spend as much money as she can and then and put it on a credit card, right? And pay it off for the rest of her life. And
Right.
so like I haven't been following her a lot lately. I don't know. I just been having following a lot of like watch content on YouTube anyway in general. So I don't know how like I know her tastes have evolved, but I was a little bit of a surprise on this one. She may have been talking about Breguet in her videos in recent months or whatever, but I was surprised to hear this one. She wants to go with the Breguet Classic chronograph, reference number 3237 with the Lomania movement, the same Lomania movement that's in a couple of other high-end watches. It's like a Patek and another watch that has that movement. And she says it's one of the most important brigades in the modern era, and it was during the Daniel Roth era of in Breguet, and she loves the watch, and it's a classic looking watch, and it got me thinking, before she added the caveat of like going as high, she kind of put it on a credit card. I was thinking to myself while she was talking, like what would my choice be if I could go for only one watch, and would it be? And I think like, and I'll ask your take on that too, Clayton. But I'll just throw mine in. It's gonna be very very boring. It's a watch I've owned before, and and I would love to own the watch again. And that's just Rolex Submariner. Like I mean, I just can't go. I was trying to think like what else where can I go? I mean, could I go German? I mean, I love so many other watches, but a watch that kind of does it all right, and has the brand recognition, and it's just quality, and it's not like crazy 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 expensive, like we're not talking like a 20, 30, 40, $50,000 watch. Man, I just keep it simple. I mean, I just the Submariner is one of my favorite watches. How about you? Did you have any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, well, if I were to go crazy and just mortgage the house on one final watch, I would track down one of those solid gold G-Shocks that were like $75,000. I would track one of those down and see how low I could get it and rock that forever. But realistically, I think a Tudor Pelagos FXD.
Mm,
I think it's just everyday watch. I could work in
yeah,
it, could do everything in it. I couldn't really dress it up necessarily. It's not as versatile maybe as a sub where you
yeah.
can wear it to nicer events, but I'll just go watchless for that. But I think it's so comfortable. It's really one of the more comfortable dive watches or watches period I've ever owned. So yeah, I think it would be the Pelagos
That's
FXD.
that's a great pick. That's a
Yep.
great pick. I mean, like it can't go wrong with that one too. Hey, Thomas, I'm sorry I missed the question. I was probably distracted by the happy birthday request in Australia. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, look, I mean, like, I think Christmas is next. Was the next Thursday?
Yes.
Um, I don't know if if Clayton's going to be around for a soup. It's a lot to ask right before the holidays. Oh no, Wednesday night is Christmas Eve. Yeah, I won't be around. I won't be around.
I could
Um,
do Friday night maybe.
Friday night. I mean, I'll probably, but before Christmas, maybe Tuesday, maybe get together. If people are around and just like shoot the shit and talk about like whatever comes up. Not necessarily have to be a watch soup related. But maybe Tuesday night in front of the Christmas tree. after the Christmas party is over here at the house. Definitely a possibility, Thomas. I'll let you guys know. Um, Question, Bobby Legs. What is your favorite Madonna song? Okay. I like "Dress You Up." I like "Dress You Up"
Yeah.
with yeah. I like that song. That's a good song. What about you? I'm gonna think about a couple other songs. What about you? Do you have a
I
favorite?
always I remember when we first got MTV and seeing the Material Girl
Oh
video.
yeah,
So I think whenever that comes on, I crank it up. I really that video I
yeah.
still
That's a
remember like there's reds and like the red background. And yeah, so
yeah.
probably Material Girl.
That's a great song.
Yeah.
Um, you
True
know,
Blue I liked.
True Blue. Um, remember? Do you remember? Do you remember True Blue? Do you remember how like there was a contest on MTV
Yes.
to make
Yep.
the yeah, yeah, and then she
Yep.
came out with her own video,
Yeah.
like a year or two later or
Were there a
whatever.
couple there were yeah, there was that, but there were like different versions, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Borderline was like the first Madonna song I remember hearing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Great song. Lisa Bonita,
Oh yes.
there's a lot of Madonna classics, you know what I mean?
Who's
Uh,
that girl I
Who's That
like?
Girl? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um,
Rain, like some of her 90s stuff
oh
is kind
yeah,
of good too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I liked the 80s Madonna. Yeah, no, there was some good stuff. She had some good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Like a Prayer.
Like a
That was
Prayer,
a controversial video, I remember.
very controversial
Yep.
video. Um, Holiday, yeah, great
Oh
song,
yeah. She's
great song.
yeah, she had a lot of great songs.
Yeah. All right, back to okay, back to watch videos, guys.
I love Aaron.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Um, okay, second question that I'm gonna focus on. Buying watches on finance. Should you do it? She lets out a big sigh after she reads this question, and she says she always says to people, "It's your money," right? She personally doesn't do it. She feels like it's a slippery slope for her to get into financially, and I totally could relate to that. She only buys watches if she has money saved, and she talked about like, hey, for some people, doing it on finance is fine. They're able to handle that, and some people, it's not. I mean, I don't have a preference either way. Like, if I'm gonna if I put it this way, if I'm ever gonna like put it on a credit card, it's got to be like 0%, one of those 0% deals for like 18 months or something like that. That's the only way I would consider doing something like that. But yeah, I mean, I know it's very um, the right thing to say as a YouTube content creator is always like, don't ever do that. Save up and buy it. But I bet you like 99% of the people don't do that. You know.
right. Yeah.
So, but no, there's no judgment here. No
No.
judgment. Um, how do you feel about that?
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
My wife and I made a deal a long time ago. We'll pay our credit cards off every month, no
Mhm.
matter how reckless we
Good deal.
get.
Yeah.
So, um, if I'm buying an expensive watch, a stupid $7,000 purchase, then that gets paid off,
Hmm.
or I don't do it.
Hmm.
That's the deal, and
Yeah.
she's like that too. We're both accountable for that. So,
Yeah.
if I buy a five, six, $7,000 watch, I have to come to the realization that that's getting paid off whether you like it or not. So
Yeah.
think twice.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's why I do sell things sometimes to buy the next thing, even if I like the watch that I'm selling. It's
Yeah.
because it's just time to move on, and I'm not carrying debt. So
Yep.
yep,
Yep. That's a good philosophy. Every AD
yep,
salesperson talks about financing like it's a big incentive. I would rather pay it off ASAP and get the 2% back on the credit card
yep.
points. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I buy everything on credit card.
Yeah.
They just get
Well,
paid off.
and then there's
Yep,
protection, with the credit card. You know what I mean?
yep,
So
yep.
Tom says he buys watches on finance a lot. It really helps me balance my addiction. I wouldn't be able to buy most of the watches I got without having used finance. Um, Finance watches with a HELOC, the Archie luxury way. Right? Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
understanding.
I mean, he's poster child for why not to do that. Because it sounds like from his videos, not putting words in his mouth, he got in maybe a little trouble doing that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Okay, moving on. Now, very similar to the previous video that we highlighted. The third question that I'm gonna highlight from Britt's video is that you only make positive reviews, and it makes me not trust you, and other people agree. And so she goes into a little bit of a background story here, where she recalls buying her first mechanical watch, and it was a Nomos Hodinkee Limited Tangenti, and she was very proud to own it. It was a lot of money for her, especially at this time, when she starting off collecting. She just started dipping her toes, so it was a big spend for her. Um, and and then she saw, she looked for, she saw a video about Archie, who she loved at the time, and I think she probably still does. And he just trashes Nomos, and says that it's a shitter, it's a waste of money, Nomos, whatever. And we know that era of Archie, where like it was just all Rolex, right? It was just Rolex, Rolex, Rolex. That was the only watch that was worth. That was the only brand considered.
Bluesy.
Yeah, yeah, a Paddock or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And so she remembers feeling, sad and stupid, and wondering if she had bought a bad watch. And she talked to her husband, and her husband, she asked him if she bought a bad watch, and he said, no. I mean, you love the watch. Don't let anyone's opinion change your way you look at your watches. And so basically, what it comes down to is, in regards to answering the question directly, she says that she finds no joy in being negative. She wants to enjoy. She wants to share the excitement of the watch with you, basically, in her review. So, and she seems like, in general, she just seems like a very positive person, and good hearted. I know she's worked with brands before, not in the collaboration sense. I'm not talking about that, but just like, kind of brands before, like, promotions and whatnot. And maybe, people look at that as a little bit of distress, as we discussed earlier with Tyree's video. You had mentioned about, like, people, being compensated, and, like, do you find, can you trust them and whatnot. But, like, so, like, I feel the same way, in a sense that I try to be positive in my videos. Um, I like Britt, and she mentioned this a little bit here. She was touching on it. Like, I don't, and I'm not gonna put words in her mouth, but I tend not to review watches that I don't like. Like, I gotta
Yeah.
like the watch,
Yeah.
and I feel like that comes through much more naturally than if it's a watch that I'm just like, and then I have to do a review of the specs and blah blah blah, and this and this and this, why I don't like it. I just, I rather just, review watches that I like. I mean, like, and I could leave all the negative reviews for those people who choose to do negative reviews. Um, how do you feel? How do you feel about this?
I appreciate constructive criticism in a video for sure. If it's like Nico saying Hublot sucks and he really gives no good reason, then that's silly, and I'd rather, whatever. But
Mhm,
yeah, like I think Jody's like moans and niggles section is useful.
mhm,
I think, yeah, because no watch is perfect. Even if you really like it, there's got to be something, and I'd
yeah,
like to hear it. Now, it's your your mileage may vary. Something that bothers you on a watch may be just fine with me, and vice versa, right? But
yeah,
um, no, if it's constructive criticism, if it's not just picking on something for the sake of getting more clicks or something, if it's honest opinion, then yeah, no, I appreciate that.
yeah,
Yeah, I was recently emailed, or on Instagram Messenger, a brand that I'd heard of, I wasn't overly familiar with, asked me if I wanted to review their watches, and I just felt nothing
yeah,
for the brand. No, no, nothing against them. I'm sure they're fine watches, but they didn't. eh, no emotions for me whatsoever. I just said, that's not what I do really.
yeah,
So I passed. And then
yeah,
they just released, I won't say the brand, but they just released a collab with a YouTuber not too long ago. I was like,
yeah,
oh, maybe that's the one they wanted me to review. But
yeah,
yeah, so now I got to feel something for the watch. So yeah, a watch I don't like is probably not going to get any type of review from me, but still, I'd offer some constructive criticism if I felt it was
yeah,
warranted. Yeah.
yeah. Agreed, agreed. Um, Next question. So the person wrote, I don't really care about watch movements. I just go for the vibe of the watch. Is that okay? And emphatically, Britt says yes. That is completely okay. You're allowed to like watches for whatever reason that you want. She has always said, she said, that the watches are either art, history, fashion, or engineering. Vibe is one of her top reasons why she gets the watch, and watch should make you feel something. And this is like something like I'm kind of like warming up to more and more lately. Example, I was at not watch time, watches in the
Wind
other
up.
one, wind up. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
I always get that.
A lot
And
of W's.
Yeah, and I was waiting online with Bobby Legs Jr. and I saw a guy wearing a Studio Underdog watch, and it was just like the one that I don't know, it was like kind of like red and peachy. I don't know, whatever it was.
That was
Um,
a Manhattan, right? The Fears. Is it the
no,
Fears
no,
one?
it wasn't. So it wasn't the collab. We were just waiting online outside. It was just like one of these
One of
three
their Chronos.
handers,
Yeah. Yeah.
three handers, and
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, wow. Like, that looks really, really good, and it totally flipped my thinking on, like, Studio Underdog because I just love the way it looked. I love the vibe. I don't care about the movement because I know it's either gonna be a seagull, um, typically for their chronos, although I think they may have stepped it up a little bit on it, and some maybe I don't know what their three-hand movements are, it's probably like a Miota or something like
They may
that.
have gone Le Joux Parade now, maybe.
Parade, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah.
recently gone Le Parade.
Yeah.
Whatever. Whatever, I don't care. I don't care. It looked good, and then as soon as when we got inside, like, sure enough, I mean, I was going there to check out the Fears collab because I had a friend of mine who was like, "If you can pick that up for me, there," which I couldn't because, like, he needed to, like, get some chips. It was, like, some weird way to get on, the buy list. Anyway, but it was one of the first brands I sought out, and man, I'm like a convert. I just love the vibe. I just love the look now. And
Yeah.
I don't care what other people think, and I don't care about the movement.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know
Same.
I know I thought of you. I thought of you, when I was watching this video. I'm like, "Oh, man, this is a really good question, for Clayton," because, man, you've gotten some really far out watches.
Yeah, and if you like the watch, then who cares? Like I bought an expensive Gerard Perregaux digital driver's watch because I liked it.
Yeah.
So you know what? Who cares sometimes about movement?
Yeah, I think
Sometimes,
you could do both. I think you can
yeah,
have the vibe watch
yeah.
and not care, and then you could still have an incredible watch with an incredible movement.
Like I
Like,
had that
really,
Moser in my collection for a couple of years. Like I felt like this. I have carte blanche now to buy anything I want because I have this.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
it's not going to get any better than this. So why
yeah,
not just if I quartz, I like quartz.
yeah,
The Citizen. Like some people would think that's crazy to buy that. I don't know. It's a really nice watch.
yeah. James is saying, I am not a movement person, but I am a brand person, and a watch has to be match a pair of Air Jordans I have. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, and finally, this one, it was on the title of the video, and then she spent like 2 seconds on it. She was like, "What's your take?" The question was, "What's your take on the Santos as a package, movement, design, etc.?" And she says it's one of the strongest overall packages you can get. You know what I mean? Like, the design is great, the brand is great, the movement, good. I mean, like, they're not gonna, it's not a world beater,
Right.
but it's good enough. And look, I agree. I think the Santos. I think you got to try it on, like she says, and I think it's one of the great looking, iconic. Meaning that, like, when I see it, that's a Santos, and it's Cartier. Great brand. You've owned a Santos, right? I mean, have you or no?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I've owned the Santos 100 and then the one with the DLC bezel. So
Yeah,
yep.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
It's just great, cool watches, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
like,
The titanium one is my second favorite watch release of the year.
wow, wow.
Yeah, behind this world timer. Yep. I think it's a no-brainer to make that watch in titanium. Can't believe they didn't do it
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Yep.
No, there's so many variations you could do with
Yep.
the Santos, and they seem to be going in that direction, which I think is great because I think a lot of people are scared of that fully polished dial that they have there. And and I know Mrs. Legs, she's a big fan and wants to get one. That's she's a little bit nervous about that, but I think she might be getting over that.
Yeah.
um, but anyway, that is a concern. And so, like, the different variations of it definitely help, because it's such a great looking watch. I mean, like, look, I mean, Cartier is probably one of my favorite brands. I mean, and we're talking about like a completely mostly vibe watch.
Yes.
And
They do
a
some
vi-
killer high horology stuff, but it's
they
not
do.
the
eh,
Santos.
no,
Yeah.
no, no,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Well, some
absolutely.
Santos, they do some really cool Santos, but
Well,
the
yeah, I mean,
stock
there's like the
one, no.
skeletonized
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
they do some. Yeah, they do
Yeah.
some cool Santos, and they have some great high horology stuff. But in general, you're not gonna get wowed by the movement. But the look is so distinguishable, and the brand is so iconic that I don't know, all those factors, make it work for me in my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they're selling gold quartz tanks like they're going out of style, you know?
like
It's like
hotcakes.
it's yeah, it's crazy.
Tom says, agree with Britt on the Santos. It's such a cool watch that has stood the test of time. Yeah.
Yep. And it's like, one of the I don't know if you believe it, but allegedly one of the first wristwatches,
Yeah.
so it has that awesome history too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, hey man, we made it.
We did it.
Another episode in
I
the
update to last week. I did buy a Canada Goose jacket. I went
Okay,
for it. Yeah.
nice.
So
Good for you.
yeah, I feel a little silly about it, but it's pretty good. I got it yesterday. It's pretty good. I wore it
Yeah.
last night. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not gonna be a work jacket, is it? Or
I don't think so. It could probably be.
yeah.
Could probably. They have a lifetime warranty, so
Yeah.
if it rips or anything, I think you can send it. The coolest thing is if it's warm. So if it
Yeah.
gets too warm, it actually has two straps, and you can actually wear it as a backpack if you don't want to wear it. So like instead of like tying it around your waist or something,
Wow.
or like holding it, yeah, you can actually wear the jacket as a backpack if it gets too warm, which is
What
interesting.
what will they think of next, man?
I
Those
know. It's like,
Canadian
geez.
geese people.
It's yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got a bunch of pockets, and I go in the woods with my dogs after
Yeah.
when it's dark. So yeah, like a flashlight in there and a pocket knife, and yeah, all kinds of gadgets in my pocket. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And an update. I still want to dress like Eminem. I got a
Yeah,
couple of those G Star pants now. I'm waiting for my other sweatshirt, my other hoodie to come in. I'm waiting for, like, some of these, to drop in price a little bit more. I don't know, maybe after the holidays, get a couple more hoodies and just, like, I don't know, just go to 8 Mile.
yeah. I was right at 8 Mile when I was there for Thanksgiving. Yeah,
Nice, nice,
yeah.
nice. You
I
represent?
think we saw signs for it. I think I was actually on 6 Mile, but yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
6, 8,
yeah.
hell,
No, week.
whatever,
I think
whatever.
I think Wilson can correct me, but I think that's where the watch store I went to is around there. I think maybe not.
Wilson's not even, he's too important.
Oh,
He's already left,
yeah, yeah.
probably.
Okay.
He's not there. All right, buddy. Well, hey, listen, if I don't see you next week, happy
Yes.
holidays.
You too. You
Um,
too.
well, we'll try to do something, maybe, and if you can make it, um, that'd be great. Oh, I love a big parka. 'Tis the season to dress like the Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah, absolutely.
This one's like well, I ordered a small because I'm usually a medium, and it says right on there. I don't have a place to go and try these on, so it
Right.
says size down. They're big, so
Oh,
I have a small, and actually like it's not super bulky. It's actually like
oh,
very kind of
oh, that's interesting.
form
Okay.
fitting. It definitely has some present. It's heavy. I'd say it's a
Yeah,
heavy jacket, but
yeah,
yeah, it's not like George Costanza in that one episode, the Gore-Tex episode, who's knocking over liquor
yeah,
bottles
yeah,
at the store. It's not that at all.
yeah,
It's pretty, yeah,
yeah.
pretty easy to move around in for sure.
Well, hey, that's great, man. We're in good health, man, and keep warm and
Yeah.
safe, please.
Oh
And
yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you, and yeah, just continue to think about everybody that's affected by it. It's so
yeah,
horrible. So
yeah.
yeah, just and what happened with Rob Reiner this week, and
Oh
the
yeah,
Australia thing.
yeah, yeah,
Man, just
man.
hug your people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All
In
right.
the chat, we'll I'll try to. I think I'll do something before Christmas. But if I don't, have good holidays, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Good night.
Good night. Merry Christmas. Happy